Is going on, people? It's just JBB here. I've taken over the TST stream. He's given me the keys to the car and able to go through some of the tools that I have. Of course, Top Shot drops a bomb on us right before we get started, or right before I plan on getting started. So, of course, we will just jump into some of the news here real quick. So, let's just start with the base pack because it's always fun to talk about these base packs. First, we'll just crack open a brew here. Cheers, everybody. It's a Friday. Some of you East Coasters are probably driving home from work. Some of you West Coasters are maybe cutting out early. Hopefully, you're hitting a happy hour today or something. But happy Friday to all. So I know this isn't the fun news, but I'll just go through it real quick. So next Tuesday, there's going to be the Series 3 base pack, November 23rd. It'll be interesting to see if this is the last one before the S1 packs come out next week. We'll see. But it looks like we've got 2,400 packs for $9. So splitting the difference on the first two packs. The first one I think was 200,000. And then the last one was 350,000. So back down to 240,000, a little bit closer to release one. Looks like Scotty Barnes is the big name. Also getting Trae Young, Dame Lillard, Bam, Adebayo, Draymond Green, and John Morant as well. So that's good. So, I mean, not a lot of news there. I mean, I think it's good. I will say that's positive that the 2,400 packs or 240,000 packs are dropping down from the 350,000 last week. I'm sure they've looked at the numbers. They've seen that, not everybody. Shout out to the Kings jersey, De'Aaron Fox, baby. I'm sure they've seen that not everybody bought 10 or not everybody even bought 5 on the first go around last week. So I think that's smart that they're using their numbers. That's what that tells me anyways. That tells me that they're using their numbers to figure that out. So this will likely be, I guess maybe let's talk about the next big announcement that popped out today. The way too early 6th man of the year. Okay, no, just kidding. All right, Series 1 reserve packs. We've known that they were coming for a while, and now they are here. So I'm probably coming in a little bit hot here. I didn't have a chance to say what's up to anybody. It's my first time hosting a stream on my own. TST usually does all the intro stuff. So how's everybody doing? Hope you guys are all doing well. We'll give everybody a couple seconds here to settle in, get yourself adjusted. It seems like a lot of people are still joining. I just wanted to go straight to the facts, but we'll see here. So just talking about the base pack real quick before we talk about the Series 1 reserve. So the base pack, Scotty Barnes, that's going to be the big winner. It'll be interesting to see if he goes up similar to his price is similar to what we're seeing from a guy like Evan Mobley, who he dropped down around 300. I know I grabbed an Evan Mobley the other night when he was at just above 300, 304. Let's see where he's at today. I'll just open up some of the rookies while we're talking rookies. It seems like Scotty Barnes is in the conversation for Rookie of the Year this year. So, oh yeah, Mobley's up to 350. So that is good stuff. I have 3 Mobleys, so I'm very excited about that. But them all quite lower than 350. Josh Giddey's at 120. Jalen Suggs 117. Davion Mitchell 90. And then some of the other guys in the 40s, 50s, 70 ranges. So, yeah, I mean, I would assume Scotty Barnes is going to be down there quite a bit. Plunge, the Kool-Aid. Cheers, everybody. If anybody else is drinking, let's do it. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, to answer Finney's question, TST is fine. This literally wasn't really supposed to be a live show about the news. This was just going to be me going through my spreadsheets and using it to talk through it all. But then this dropped, so I had to talk about it real cold. I had to talk about it real quick. So yeah, TST was not really planning on being here. I think he's still got stuff going on. All right, so real quick. Oh, and then we're talking about sheeps and wolves, baby. That's been something that's taken over my life for the last 24 hours. Ended up grabbing 4 sheeps last night. Minted another sheep this morning. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I tweeted about this morning. Wolf game. It's pretty wild. I still don't fully understand it, and it could be a rug pull. But welcome to NFTs. That's what we do here. Okay. Let's talk about these Series 1 packs. So we've known about them for a while. They're here to come finally Tuesday, November 30th. So next Tuesday, we're going to have the release 3 of the base packs. Then we're going to have Thanksgiving. And then for all of us Americans, I don't know what you Canadians do on American Thanksgiving. I'm sure you probably drink too. And then next Tuesday, the 30th, is the first release of these base packs. So let's just go through the facts here. They gave us a little nugget at the bottom that there's going to be a total of 10,400 of them. And then this week, we're only seeing 500 of them. And it doesn't sound at all like these are going to be weekly. Talking about these being over the next 18 months. So 500 is a very small number compared to this basically 10,500. It's going to cost 350 trade tickets. We knew it was going to be somewhere between the 300 to 500 value. They talked about making sure that the price was somewhat equivalent to the median price of these packs. So you could assume that maybe if they're thinking that you're getting these at an average of $2 to $3, then maybe the median's around $800 to $1,000. I have all that data on my spreadsheet. We'll go into it later. About all these packs and everything. So that's good stuff, something to stick around for. But basically, there's a lot of people that will assume that this is just any 4 Series 1 moments. And a lot of people will go look and see that there is a bunch of $30, $40 Series 1 moments. But that is not exactly how it's going to be. So there is one that is out of 1,000. So that's pretty easy to narrow down. There's only like 15 or 20 of those in Series 1. One of those moments is guaranteed to be out of 1,000. Right now you have a LeBron that's over $10,000. You have a Giannis, you have a Steph Curry, you have a John Morant, James Harden. Really, some really good names there. So that's the big prize, is these ones over 1,000. And then you'll also get 3 moments that are anywhere between $12.40 and $39.99. So yeah, I mean, I think this is really interesting for a couple different reasons. Talking through so there was a lot of us that I think capitalized last weekend after Friday, last Saturday, and we're trying to buy as many $2 moments as possible from Series 3, knowing that this announcement was coming soon. Not really knowing it was coming today, right? But we knew it was coming soon. And obviously that helped really well. I don't think we're going to see another $2 moment until these packs drop, because that's obviously the cheapest way to acquire trade tickets. So for those of you that were able to get $3 moments last week in the pack drop, we're able to get $2 moments on that Saturday. That's awesome. I would recommend everybody try to get your hands on 30 more of these moments on Tuesday when the Series 3 packs come out. So yeah, I mean, that right now, it seems like $3 is probably going to be the floor. I don't think we'll see a lot of $2 moments anymore for Series 3 anyways. Shout out to Top Shot Tesla, giving me a little bit of rent help to pay TSC for taking over his stream. So yeah, anyways, that's the deal there. We'll go through what's in all these packs. Just a quick calculation. I mean, let me just pull this up. 350 times 500, 175,000 moments that are going to need to be burned in order to release 2,000 moments. So that's good, right? That's deflationary. That's some of the stuff that we like to see. Um, yeah, so 175,000 moments. We've seen 1.6 million get released in Series 3. We're getting another 720,000 next week. So we're going to be at about 2.3 million total of Series 3 moments out there. And you would assume that 175,000 of those will get burned for this. So pretty decent rate there. It's a good question from the plunge. Will we hit $4 between now and Tuesday? I would say, yeah. I would say the answer is probably yes there. I literally saw this announcement as I was about to hit go live. So I'm not exactly sure what everybody is buying up out there. I mean, let's just kind of be smart with this, people. If you didn't capitalize on the $2 moments last week, shame on you. Shame on you. You should have done that. We talked about that multiple times in the Discord. So make sure you're following some of that advice usually. And then definitely make sure you get in the queue on Tuesday. Try to lock in some $3 moments. Get 30 of them, and then I guess it's just kind of up to you. I don't think we're going to see 2 right after the pack drop on Tuesday. We're probably not going to see 2. What may happen is 3 is gone now. It goes up to 4, and then at 4 is where it holds. And then when the packs come, it drops back down to 3 for a little bit. We'll see. There's quite a few moments coming out. It looks like quite a few new ones too. So I'm not sure exactly what the iteration or implications are going to be. I would say do not spend $4 on a trade ticket. Do not spend $4 on a trade ticket. It's not going to be worth it. I would also say we'll go into the sheets and I'll show you guys the median projection for these packs. I'll show you the expected value for these packs. I'll show you the best case scenario. I'll show you the worst case scenario. All that stuff in a little bit. But basically, these packs, they're going to come out over 18 months. They're going to be probably pretty even as they come out with them, 500 at a time every month or something like that. I don't know. We'll see exactly how it works, but do not get riled up into the hype right now. I would have a goal of only spending $200 or only $2 on a trade ticket. If you're, a little bit short right now on that, then maybe you just hold off on this one and wait till the next one. I'm sure somebody like Live Token or actually I know Live Token is going to be putting out some stuff about how many people have this amount of trade tickets and yada yada yada. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be a little bit of game theory involved too. If there's only 600 people right now that qualify, well, maybe it makes a little bit more sense to try to grab these trade tickets now to confirm you're going to have a better chance at a pack. If there's 2,000 people that qualify, then maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense because they'll likely be cheaper moments later. But this is all stuff that we knew was going to happen. We knew that the trade ticket stuff was out there. It was already providing a lot of upward resistance on the floor before the actual announcement came. Now the announcement's coming, and so a lot of people are going to start buying. This is interesting. D Wade has been a favorite that a lot of people have been stacking, mostly because of the CS points from it. I think it gets you 10 instead of 2, and those have been at 3. So pretty much the $3 4 is gone on D Wade. Would expect a lot of these guys to be gone soon. So honestly, I'm not going to buy a $3 trade ticket. I'm definitely not going to buy a $4 trade ticket. My goal always to be for $2, and I'll kind of show you why when we dig into the numbers. So I think that about wraps it up. I already spent about 15 minutes on stuff I wasn't planning on. So now we're just going to get into the nitty gritty, folks. And I'm going to I'm going to try my best to navigate both the comments, but also work on showing you guys into all the different sheets as well. So what my goal is basically just to go through every single sheet that I have that's part of the Show Me the Data subscription. Looks like we've already got a ton of people that are calling in right now, which is great, or on the video right now, which is great. The goal is for this to really be, let's see, producer John here is struggling. Okay, cool, we're live. So the goal is for this to be kind of some evergreen content that's able to be referenced kind of, for many months to come and stuff like that, as people in the Show Me the Data Discord and who have access to these sheets are able to try to figure out what the hell's going on with all this stuff, because it might make a lot of sense to me because I'm the man behind them all, but it's probably a little bit overwhelming to people when they log in. So yeah, for everybody listening, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to, I'm going to just go tab by tab and I'll reference back to the comments. If you're coming on here for a lot of Top Shot news, we just covered it for 15 minutes, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. We'll get over to the Series 1 tab shortly, and we'll talk all about the Series 1 expected value, the median value, all that stuff. But for the most part, we're going to try to just go little by little here. And then, yeah, that's about it. So if I'm not explaining stuff well, if you have questions on a specific sheet, fire them into the chat, and then I will go through and make sure I've got that all covered. So the first two sheets, and I'll try to stay zoomed in here. I know there's a billion things going on here. So it's kind of hard to see what's going on these sheets. I like to look at them from a zoomed out approach, but I know that's not great for content here on the stream. So the first sheet is just the data dump. And it's not really useful for anybody but myself, really. This is how I pull everything in to all these different sheets. I know there's quite a few people that like the sheet, though. They can save it for themselves. This has every moment on the platform, from Series 1, Series 2 summer, all the way down to the new Series 3 moments. As soon as new packs come out, I add these in. So this is literally just a database of everything. And then each play has its own specific play ID. So if you're creating your own little sheets, this is a good way to reference stuff on other sheets. This is how I reference stuff on all my sheets, is using this unique play ID instead of having to do a bunch of different index match and stuff like that. So this has everything. It also has, you'll see this is kind of old info. I haven't actually, this is not even correct. But I haven't gone through and dropped this in. I tried to do it this morning, but it kind of started slowing down my computer because I'm not on my normal machine that I work with. But basically, this shows the current low ask, and then it'll show like the 1-day average sales, the 3-day average sales, 7-day, 14, and 28. So we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the archive sheets, which is some of the old data. But yeah, this is how it goes here. So data dump, not that important. Some people like it. The other thing that's not that important that I'll just jump to now is the All Moments tab. So the All Moments tab is once again pretty much the same exact thing, but it's just sorted by lowest to highest in price. So we could already see these two obviously aren't real. Those are just one moment straggling in there. We can see as of the last time this was updated, there is, let's see, 90 moments out there that have a $3 floor. Maybe count those other 5, so 95 moments. That number will probably start getting quite a bit smaller. But yeah, this just lists every moment on the whole site, sorted smallest to largest by price, and that auto updates too. So for those who are wondering about when these things update and everything like that, I've got it set up to automatically pull in pricing every 30 minutes. So live update on pricing every 30 minutes. And then the all moments sheet that sorts it lowest, smallest to largest also, I think, works every 30 minutes or so, or maybe an hour. So yeah, that's just kind of the boring shit. The couple pages that don't really matter too much. All right. So I'm going to start with, let's just see. Let me make sure I do this right. Anybody have any comments about that sheet? TST says he's been hacked. Yes, sir. I took over, hacked the mainframe. Let's see. Okay, nobody else. Everybody else is like, yeah, those sheets are boring. I don't give a shit. Okay, moment ranks play. Let's start there. That is an important one right now. Obviously, moment ranks came out with their announcement yesterday that They are adding $1,500 to the prize pool every night. So a ton of potential to make some money. I believe it's Dapper credits instead of moments, but first place is like 250. 100th place is $5. Really cool stuff there. So this is the Moment Ranks play sheet. Basically, go through usually every day about 1 p.m. I just did this right before the stream. That's why I wasn't updated, but I've updated it for today. I usually update about 1 p.m. Pacific time once the first, kind of run of injury news comes out and stuff like that. And then I try to get it again right before the games lock, which let's see, today looks like we are, we're locking at 4 today. So I'll try to get everything in by 4 p.m. or by about 3 p.m., 3:30. Probably right after the stream. So uh, basically, I'll try to walk everybody through this. So in the simplest format, what I do is I take the projections that I have and I calc out what their base projection is based on all the different moment rank scoring mechanisms. So points are 1, rebounds are 1.5, assists, whatever. Those may not even be right how I did it, but the formula is correct. So this is what their base projection is. If they don't hit any of their boosts, this is what all these players are expected to hit that night. But then obviously, when it comes to moment ranks play, we care about the boosts the most, right? Nothing else matters really but the boost. You always want to have players that hit their boost because that's going to help you do well. So then what I account for is I pull in their last 10 average, and then I see if the projection for tonight is over their last 10 average or not. And if it is, then it's going to show up as a boost here. So it'll add the 5-point common boost that every moment gets. And then in this case, like Harden, it's adding 3.9 points to it over the base boost, which means that he's projected to score, a little bit over what he's averaging over the last 10 games when it comes to points. So the boost columns, basically there's a percentage that says there's based on the projections, there's a 136% chance Harden goes over his last 10 average and gets the boost in the points category. There's a 102% chance he does it in assists, 107% chance he does it in threes, and 160% chance he doesn't block. So Harden looks pretty good tonight. I'm guessing Durant's out. Yeah, I don't see Durant here, so Durant must be out, and then no Kyrie obviously too. So Harden's going to get a lot of stuff. You look at a guy like Giannis, 88% boost. So Giannis obviously coming off the big 47-point game a couple nights ago. He's averaging a pretty high points per game, so he's probably not projecting to beat that. Doesn't mean he's not going to beat it, right? And if he is, then that'll start ticking up and he'll still get the boost. But just based on the projection, there's an 88% chance he hits the boost. So he's not projecting to get any of a bonus right now. And then all this adjusted projection is just taking the base projection, adding in what the boost is, and getting to the adjusted. So it's color coded by green, all these different columns, just so the players pop out that are having a good projection. But yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that, really, when it comes to these projections. I mean, this is projections, guys. It's based on median stuff. It's not going to be perfect. I wouldn't I'm personally not back testing this stuff. I'm not trying to figure out if everything's perfect. Like last night, I mean, who was looking good? The Bam block was looking good, and Bam didn't get a block, and so Bam just played poorly overall, didn't work out. It's more just trying to be directionally correct to help drive people in the right direction on which moments to look at and which players to kind of target for that night. The other thing that it does is it takes in the cheapest moment that player has in each category. So for points, it looks at I think it looks at it doesn't have it here, but it looks at jump shots and dunks and layups. So there's 3 different moments that the points look for. Assists, it looks for handles and assists, and then 3 steals and blocks is pretty straightforward. And then it pulls in what the price is. So it's fun to try to look through some of this stuff. So like for James Harden, his cheapest moment is for a 3-pointer is the All-Star game one, which is also rare. So add 2 points onto this, but it's $116, right? So it's projecting really well, but compared to the assist, is it worth it to pay the extra 109 instead of having the assist? Who knows? Maybe, probably not in this case. And same for the blocks. It's a S1 block for $155. So not the most efficient way to do things. So the bluer it is, that means the lower the price is. And the greener it is, that means the better the projection is. And then, but you can use these things to try to get a little game theory. And I'm not going to go deep onto it. To talk about it a ton in the Discord. I write a post on it every day. May not do it today. We'll see at what time the stream gets over. But basically, just trying to figure out what some of the good plays are. If there's a moment that's really cheap and projected really well, probably a lot of people are going to play it. So, like in this case, Jason Tatum, assists and points are projecting roughly the same. That doesn't look right. It feels like Tatum should have a cheaper points one, but maybe not. So Tatum's got a 4 assist. He's got $13 points. A lot more people are going to play the assists or the threes than are going to play the points. So maybe it makes sense to play a little bit of the points and hope that he does well there and doesn't do well in these categories. And then you picked correctly on Tatum. Okay. So that, I think, about boils it down. I mean, I would say obviously always try to look at blocks and steals. High risk, high reward. The boost on blocks is like 16 and the boost on steals is like 12 every one they go over. So those start adding up really quickly. Jimmy Butler last night with 4 steals. Those tacked up pretty quickly. And then like threes are another one that can tack on pretty quickly, except if you're freaking Steph Curry and you just like average 9 a game somehow. So I faded him last night. That didn't work out at all. But yeah, that kind of nails the sheet down. I'm probably, now that they came out with this announcement, I'm probably going to be adding some more stuff to this sheet for people. It should be pretty self-explanatory. I think this is the most complicated aspect. So that about sums it up. I'll see if there is some questions here. Let's see. Weekend update. Finney's asking. So I'm going to try to... I'll try to get some weekend stuff in there. May not work out perfectly every day, but I'll try to get stuff in there for you guys. I think I figured out a way to do it on my phone for the people. So I'll try to get that in for everybody. Let's see. Does tier not matter on moment ranks play? Tier does matter, although it really doesn't matter in my opinion. So there's a differentiator for tier. It only if a player hits his boost. So if whatever. If a player gets to their boost and they go over their last 10 average, then there's either a base 5 points added for a common, 7 points added for a rare, or 8 points added for a legendary. So really the difference between a rare and a legendary is either 2 points, or the difference between a rare and a common is 2 points. The difference between a legendary and a common is 3 points. There's no multipliers, nothing like that. It's just literally just a base +2 or +3. So in my opinion, it's not really worth it unless you've already got it in your account. Most of the nights, 5 commons win it all. Last night, 5 commons won it all. It happens a lot. Eric says, how can it be over 100% chance? That just means that, let's say for Harden tonight, I won't have time to go through everything, but let's say he's averaging, or let's say the projection says he's going to score 27 points tonight. In his last 10 average is 25 points. Well, then there's over 100% chance based on the projections that he's going to go over that last 10 average. Doesn't actually mean it's locked in 100% going to happen. It just helps, it's just a probability based on the projections, basically. Let's see what else. It's basically percentage. So the projection based on past performance, but also based on opponent. Yeah, I mean, kind of. It's just aggregated from a couple fantasy sources, and then so it accounts for opponents, accounts for minutes projections, accounts for players who are out that night on their team, whatever. And then all I do is just take that projection and then multiply it out for the moment race play stuff. So I'm not the guy actually cranking through all the data to come up with all these different projections. I just aggregate that from a couple different fantasy sources out there in the industry and then make it match the moment ranks play. Okay, sip of beer. We're gonna move on. Got 100 of you crazy people watching. That's wild. Okay, the next one I'm gonna go to is the TOC, the Owners Club, which is by the guys that own the moment. This one's pretty similar. I just updated it this morning. But what it does is, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, I'm not going to talk about it too much here. It's basically an NFT game that's kind of like fantasy football. Instead of owning Lamar Jackson, a Lamar Jackson NFT, you just own a Baltimore QB NFT. Instead of owning Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt, you own all of the Cleveland running backs. And so all the points that they acquire is counted in your weekly deal. They have contests, main event. They have multiple different contests, plenty of ways to win. Yada yada yada, blah 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 blah. So here's how the sheet works, though. It's pretty similar to what I just showed you. You'll see there's some teams with zeros this week because they're on bye. Denver and the Rams, looks like. But basically, takes the projections. It sums up everything that the quarterback is projected to do, and then there's some multipliers here that account for that account for the TOC scoring, whatever. So yeah, whatever. You'll see how some of the calcs work. Don't really care too much about that anyways. But basically, I'll just sort it by base projection. And then I have they just added low ask, which is cool. So I'm able to pull in low ask now for everything, and then low ask in USD, and then you just do like a point per ETH or a point per USD calculation. And then I also include like a ceiling, right? And this is just trying to show upside. If you're playing in some of these big tournaments, you want to target upside. So even though Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are both projected to score the same, Josh Allen's ceiling is better. So in a game where he absolutely goes off, he's going to outscore Lamar. So it makes sense to do a little Jackson. It makes sense to do Allen instead of Jackson. Whatever, not too big a deal. Once again, all these projections, the goal isn't for the projections to be right. The goal is just to be directionally correct and help you make the right decisions, right? So shouldn't really be back testing this stuff or trying to figure out how well it landed and all that stuff. That's not really the goal. It's just to know that okay, there is a 10-point difference between Baltimore and Justin, or between Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields, basically. That's a pretty big deal, right? That's going to make you want to play Baltimore over Chicago every day. But then you get to some of this stuff where it's like Seattle and Tennessee, same projection, and Tennessee is way, way cheaper, huge value when it comes to point per ETH. So it makes more sense to buy a Tennessee that week than it does to play a Seattle. Plus Russell Wilson has just been sucking lately. But yeah, so obviously same kind of deal here. You want a high points projection, and then you also want a high value projection, which means the floor is a little bit cheaper. So yeah, I mean, this one's I think a little bit more straightforward, and it's not as easy for everybody to make perfect lineups like it is for Moment Ranks play. Just because on the TOC, there's just a lot more moments. The price point was there's a lot more cards. The price point was a little bit higher to enter on some of this stuff. As you can see, pretty much, there's no $4, $5 moments. Everything's in the 20s, 30s, 40s. So, a little bit higher barrier of entry, but obviously having info like this is extremely important. And yeah, that I think that about wraps it up for this sheet. And trying to think if there's anything cool on here. I have the jokers down here. You've got a joker. But yeah, just focus on finding good values if you're looking to buy, and then focus on playing the highest number if you've already got them in your collection. So let's see. Doesn't look like anybody's got any questions on that one. I don't know how many people play the TOC stuff. I know it's pretty. I like it's pretty fun, but I think it's a little bit more nuanced. Okay, going into some of the new tools here for Series 3. So just to confirm, just to reiterate with everybody, and this is in the Discord, this is in the JBB Soapbox channel pinned at the top. There's now 2 links because all of you crazy people, let's see, people, yeah, 66 people, 66 plus 5, whatever, 71 people in these sheets right now. So these things start to bog down a little bit at times, especially on days like today where there's some big news coming out. So I separated them out. So this one's like the active sheet with all the stuff that's fluid right now, and then there's an archive sheet as well that just shows some of the old information from like Series 1 and Series 2. So I'll go through that later too. So this is roadmap tracker, and basically what I did is I just read through the Series 3 roadmap, which is linked up here if you need it, and just put into categories like each player can have 2 base sets. They can also have 3, max 2 of non-base sets and a reward, max 2 in the playoffs and a reward. So potentially somebody could have 8 commons this year, and then rares, same thing. Did all that stuff, and then Larry, same thing. Put some notes, just kind of summarize how many of each can happen, and break it all down here. So, and then I'm just going to keep tracking as more players come out. Where did they get this moment in? What really was in? What kind of moment it was? Blah, 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 blah. Pretty straightforward there. And, it's only, let's see, what is it? 80 people deep right now, 84 people deep right now. But that number is obviously going to start increasing quite a bit. It's not extremely useful right now, but I think as we get maybe into some of the rares and we start counting about how many moments some people have, are they going to have a moment of this upcoming pack, blah, blah, blah. It'll help a little bit with that speculation. So I don't think there's, probably not a whole lot of questions on this one. Moving forward. Okay. So these ones are pretty important. They're the series team bonuses. So I need to take a drink for this one. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Okay. So what I did is, starting over here on the right side of the sheet, every team is broken down for what is currently required for each series bonus. So remember, I just skipped over the full team bonus. We'll get to that one. Right now, we're just talking series team bonus. So the series team bonus sheet includes every S2 moment, every S1 moment for every player, and every S3. This will continue to grow. And then what it does is it uses that one tab and it pulls in the cheapest moment for each player that's in each series, and it totals up for what the cost is to finish each of these different series. It does that for every team. As you scroll down forever, all the teams are on here and all the different series. And I will keep this thing updated as Series 3 progresses. So that's beneficial. That's for sure beneficial as you're looking through, trying to figure out what teams you like. If you're close on the Cavs, then you look like, shit, I would have to do a $56 Dylan Windler. That kind of sucks. It's easier to see multiple teams on a screen instead of trying to click through everything on the Top Shot website. So yeah, I think that's useful for sure. And then the next part that's really cool is this column, which basically tallies everything up from a dollar per point basis, because that's really what we care about when it comes to collector score, is how many collector score points am I going to get and how cheap is it going to be for me and what's the best value. So you can see even though the Nuggets are $93, you have to get 14 moments for the Nuggets, and it comes out to be 288 points. Whatever. Blazers $82. You only have to get 9 points, so you get a little bit less. You get a little bit less collector score, so it comes out a little bit worse. Whatever. So all this math just kind of works. It basically says, here's the total price to do the Series 2. Here's how many moments it is. Here's how many points it gets you when you finish your first Series 2. And this is sorted by dollars per point, basically just this divided by that. So that's pretty straightforward, I think, and pretty easy to figure out. Obviously, if you're halfway there or if you already have it or whatever, this isn't going to work out perfectly, but it at least helps you once again, all this stuff's about being directionally correct, right? We want to go in the right direction, and we want to make the smartest decisions as we're doing this stuff. So these are the tools that are going to help you. And then now you see this is what it takes to stack all these moments. And very, very clearly, this is updated to the current way the market's going, because it looks like the Series 2 floor is just about $4 now across the board. That was not like that a couple days ago. So very interesting to see. It pulls in the cheapest moment from that. And then same thing for Series 1 and Series 3. Obviously, because of the high price of Series 1 and because of the low points from Series 3, neither of these are going to be very good values. But it's fun to track. Who knows what the hell is going to happen? Who knows how low some of these prices are going to go across the board? So there could be a time when Series 3 is all worth $1, and maybe it makes sense. Maybe some of these are better than Series 2. Who knows? Just trying to future-proof this thing as best as possible. But right now, you just want to look mainly at this Series 2 column if you're starting from scratch. So it looks like as we are speaking, my sheet is updating right now. So some of these prices are about to get thrown off. You can see the little ticker here. So maybe I will jump over to the stream real quick and see if anybody has any questions. Seems like nobody has any questions, so I've officially lulled everybody to sleep. So that's good, but 82 of you are still here, so somebody's watching. Let's see. Yeah, this is all screwy right now. Takes a second to update every 30 minutes or an hour or so, but yeah, so we'll let that ride, and it's probably going to go extra slow now with 64 people in here and me streaming on my little computer here. So just kind of let's see. No questions really. Okay, I'll just scroll down here to the bottom. The numbers aren't gonna look perfect right now until everything updates in a second, but basically this chart is trying to answer the question of how much money do I need to gain X amount of collector score points. So this is really beneficial when we get to like certain pack drops where you may be 1,000 points from a CS threshold that gets you in the priority Q1, or you may be 2,000 points away or 5,000 points away or whatever. I will say right off the top, Own the Moment has the best tool for this because it helps you. It links in directly to your account. You can go to their website. It'll tell you what moments you already have, and it'll like perfectly kind of pick out the cheapest way to get there based on your account. Obviously, I don't have the capability to do that on these spreadsheets. So it's not same there, but what it does do is it at least like helps figure out how quickly it's going to take you to get to some of these things and for what price you can do them. So once again, these prices are a little screwed up right now, but basically what it does is it says like, okay, it assumes that you're starting from scratch. So Portland Trailblazers, you start from scratch. You don't have any Portland. You buy all the Portland, and then you go and you start stacking $4 Portland Trailblazer moments. So because that's the lowest price right now. So you stack $4 Portland Trailblazers moments, and it tells you how much it's going to cost you to get to every tier. So that's kind of the thesis behind this. And like I said, these numbers aren't real yet. I'm assuming this update is going to totally screw me for a couple minutes here in the video, but that's all right. We'll keep talking here and keep chugging along. One thing that's important to think about is this note. And once again, like all this stuff that I'm doing, I'm trying to think of like planning for the future as best as possible and not really knowing how, not really knowing how things are going to look, a couple months from now, exactly what things are going to be priced at and stuff like that. So this chart only assumes that you're stacking Series 2 moments because that's the best way to do it. But sometimes the playoff moments are a little bit better value than the Series 2 moments. So if there's $6 playoff moments or less, those are better to do than $4 or more Series 2. If there's $8 playoff moments or less, those are better to do than $5 Series 2 or more. And then a $10 playoff moment is equal to $6. So that doesn't affect every team. Like sadly, My Kings don't have any playoff moments because you would have to make the playoffs to get a playoff moment. But it's a pretty good hack for some of these teams that's maybe had a first round exit, didn't have a huge playoffs or something like that, and are on the cheaper end for stacking. So like you can see here. So once again, this chart is for Series 2, it's for Series 3, and it's for Series 1. Obviously, all the Series 2 stuff's at the top. We all know that's the best deal from a collector score standpoint. Then looks like right now the Series 3 stuff and then the Series 1, because you're not really going to want to stack Series 1 at $30 a pop or $40 a pop or whatever. Okay, so like I said, you're mainly caring about the Series 2 stuff, and you're mainly caring about the Series 2 stuff here. But I wanted to include it all in order to help future-proof it. So we'll stop there. We'll check the chat. Let's see. Where is the old ratio chart? Okay, this is going ratio chart with 15K and 7.5K. I'll show you that later. That's on the archive sheet now, Finney. Alex says LeBron James block growing crazy tonight in moment ranks. Let's see if he's right. I wonder if that's based on intuition or if that is based on projections. Is LeBron even playing? Yeah, he's in here. Doesn't look like that's projecting super well, but maybe if you've got an inside info. Nico says he finished Bulls and Kings and has Timberwolves. Awesome, good stuff. Eric says how to pull the lowest ask from Top Shot on the moments. I've been trying to make a sheet to track my purchases. I would like to be able to see my profit and loss. I use Add More Funds. They have a download feature that you can download everything. I think it's a paid subscription through them, but they have a download feature where you can download every moment, and those all match the moment IDs that I have on my front sheet. But I also found a guy that helped me get everything automated on my sheet, so it pulls every 30 minutes. So paid a guy on Fiverr or whatever that was way smarter than me in coding, and made my life a lot easier. So that's that. And then Jacob says, making playoffs, what's that mean? I'm right there with you, buddy. I do not think I know what that means as a Kings fan. Okay, so we talked about the series bonuses, and those are good. Series 2 is always going to be good because of the CS. So it's always going to probably be pretty cheap, and it's going to be a really good way for new collectors to get involved. Full team bonus is really where the money's at, though, and really where you really unlock all the power for collector score, because in series team you get a 50% bonus once you start stacking. On full team you get a 3x bonus, right? So every instead of being $12, every series 2 moment you stack is 36, or instead of being 12 points, every series 2 moment you stack is 36 points. So same kind of deal here. I've updated these sheets. I told myself I was going to do this today, and then I got sidetracked with other stuff. But basically, these sheets are pretty much the same, except they strip away all series, and it's just every player on every team. And this matches the Top Shot website. The only thing that's different is you'll see, like, what I did is I highlighted some of these things. So green means they're no longer on the team. Bold green means they're like a bottleneck, which is what KCP is for the Pistons here. Green means they're no longer on the team, so there's currently not a chance for these guys to get less expensive moments. Then white means they're on the team, and then yellow means that they are still on the team, but they're likely to get an S3 moment. So, like, if you're holding out on if you're holding a Saban Lee strictly for the full team bonus, well, maybe it doesn't make a ton of sense if he's gonna get a series 2 moment or a series 3 moment soon. So if you see like Saban Lee's on a list coming out, then you'll probably want to sell him and then just buy back the cheaper S3. So just something to be aware of, like, for people who, a lot of people already know this stuff. Like, if you're intimate with your team stack and you know everything about it, you'll know all this stuff. But if you're new and you just like aped into this and you like went and bought all the nuggets because they were cheap, it's good to know some of these things about these guys that are over $10. And as you can see, this is kind of old, so I owe everybody an update on colors. But like JaMychal Green already got an S3, so he already dropped down quite a bit. And some of these guys have dropped below 10. So anyways, that's kind of how this sheet works. I did have a red in there for a while of players getting an archive moment, but obviously the archives have all trickled out. I will say, like during summer when Run It Back happened, what I did was I tried to like put in the new players and make projections, because those moments had like a big swing on like full team bonuses and stuff like that. So sometimes I'll use this sheet as a tool for projecting and for trying to figure out where the price action is going to be on all the different moments and stuff like that, and how it's going to affect the full team price. But most of the time, it's just a rolling list and a rolling tally and a tool. I mean, in general, guys, the good part about these sheets, at least the reason that I like them and the reason why I created them, is there's a million different websites. There's a lot of stuff that's automated. There's a lot of stuff that's a lot quicker out there, whatever, the pretty charts and stuff like that. But there's nowhere that you're going to be able to look at like Cavs plus Mavericks plus Nuggets on one screen in 5 seconds, right? You're going to have to click a million times. You're going to have to like load a bunch of stuff. And it's just it's nice to see all this stuff from a zoomed out perspective, just to help you get familiar with how all this shit works. So similar kind of deal up here for the full team bonus. It's kind of complicated if you have no idea how this stuff works, but it makes a lot of sense once I walk everybody through it. So that's what I'll do now. So I'll sort here by this one, because this is the most optimal way typically to stack. But similar concept here. So yeah, the sheet is just slowing down a little bit here. Look what you guys did. Okay, we're back. Yeah, this sometimes happens during pack drops or whatever, when there's a billion people in here. Sometimes I'll try to throw a couple tabs out into the interwebs and make them a little bit more active, or a little bit easier to get to. But here we go. So it's the price to complete, and then it's the number of moments required, and then the same thing. This is the price to stack, and I've just done the series 2, the cheapest series 2 for everything, because that's always going to be the best way to stack. And then what I do here is okay, if you've only done the full team bonus, right? So if you started yesterday and you said, hey, I want to go do the Raptors. I picked the Raptors because they've had like 5 players that have gotten Series 3 moments, right? So you likely don't have the Series 2 Raptor set. You don't have Series 1. You only have the players from each series that are required for you to get this $658 and 534 points. If you then go and like tag on and finish out the Series 2, which, as you can see, only cost you the delta between these two, which is $9. If you do another $9, you get yourself another, X amount of points, whatever that is, 70 points, and it lowers your cost quite a bit. And then for the same, looks like by doing that, you also get the Series 3. That just happens to be how it works for the Raptors, which gets you a couple more points, which actually gets you a little bit cheaper too. And then obviously finishing out like Series 2 and Series 1, it's quite a bit more complicated to get Series 1. It's not really necessary ever, unless you just want to be a completionist for Series 1 and you want to get a little bit more of a boost to your Series 1 moments, but it just shows that. And then if you have all series, so if you have the full team, plus you finished all the Series 1, plus you finished all the Series 2, plus you now have kept all the Series 3, then that shows it as well. But the best bang for your buck is always just going to be doing the full team with the Series 2. It allows you to stack your Series 2 at a full 3x multiplier. And it's just generally the best way to do things. And then it just depends. If Series 3 prices drop off, then I don't know what the hell is going on with this pop-up. If Series 3 prices drop off quite a bit over the next few weeks, which they won't now with this announcement, but if they do, if we ever get to like a $1 floor for Series 3, then it's going to be interesting to see what happens with some of these Series 3 moments. Looks like this is loading. I will head to the comments here. Nico says, your thoughts on Kevin Garnett archive? I feel a lot of people double team Timberwolves. He could rise when a pack requires high collector score. Exactly. I agree with that 100%. Right now, collector score doesn't really matter. There's no pack drops coming out. There's no whatever. There's nothing coming out that basically is requiring people to have a collector score, so the focus isn't there. We've seen that when collector score becomes popular, these moments go up. Timberwolves are worth $6, $7 minimum. Hornets are worth $6, $7 minimum. Nuggets are worth $5. All this stuff starts to rise, and like you're talking about for the Garnett, it'll give people a kick in the ass to go finish, right? So they'll actually go have to buy the Garnett they need now and stuff like that. So yeah, all good stuff to think about. All good stuff to look at. Keep your eye on some of these low prices. They're always going to be the first to rise when the announcements come out. Let's see. Mattis says, great stuff. Additional point. It really makes sense to think about additional moment value when stacking. Yeah, superstars are challenged to rookie badge limit size of playoffs. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good point. If you're like stacking the Grizzlies, stack Ja Morant. Don't stack I don't know, Jonas Valanciunas or something. Like, just stack the good players, because as we see, like a couple nights ago in the Flash Challenge or whatever, most of the time, or in the Quavo Quest where they just pick 5 random guys or whatever, a lot of the time it's going to be these higher the players that get playing time on team, the more of the superstars, stuff like that. So you might as well be sitting on a stack of a bunch of moments that could have challenge utility versus a guy that barely plays. And here's his example. Nuggets are the cheapest. They might not have any floor moments for stacking. Jokic too expensive. So Wizards could be better to stack Avdija rookie or Hawks with a Kogwu rookie. So yeah, if you can stack a bunch of rookie badges, that's cool. Jump Shoot says collect score and trade tickets going to juice the market. Yeah, for sure. Literally been talking about this for 3 weeks. Been fighting people on Twitter, and now people we'll see what happens to the floor. It's fun to watch. Dear Lecture, thanks for, yeah. Okay, cool. No problem at all. Okay, so then this is the exact same chart as before, sorted, by, I think I go a little bit higher on this one, all the way up to 10,000, just because it's a little bit easier to do it. Is my damn thing updating again? But anyways, it just shows you like which team with what series bonus, how much it's going to cost you to get to certain things. So just looking at like Charlotte Hornets, if you have the full team bonus and you have the series 2 bonus, it's going to cost you $918 to get to 5,000. If we go back to the series team bonus and we look at only having the Hornets for series 2, oh shit, it's going to cost you $835 to get there. So it's better to do the Hornets just series 2. There you go. Because you don't have to buy the Gerald Wallace, and you can stack cheaper. That's kind of making me think I did this wrong. I guess that makes sense for the Hornets, unless something screwed up with my pricing here, which it could be. The sheets are running a little bit slow right now. But just taking like another team, for example, here. Let's see. Let's look at the Raptors. With the Series 2 bonus, cost you $1,100 to get to 5,000. With the Series team bonus for the Raptors, it costs you $1,400 to get to 5,000. So you can see why it pays off there to get the full team bonus. So you got to look at some of this stuff, compare a little bit, and figure out the best way to do things for the teams that you have and stuff like that. Okay, cool. That wraps up the full team bonus. I think we're getting through the meat and the potatoes here, and now we're going to be cruising in to some of the easier stuff to talk through. I'll answer this question. Nico says, if you just joined Top Shot, what would be the full teams you would go for? To be honest with you, I would go for, and you obviously have to take your budget into account, stuff like that, but I would go for the teams that you live the closest to. And the reason I'm saying that is I am of the opinion that there's going to be utility to having teammates, whether it's, being in a raffle to go to a game or whatever. I don't know what it is, being able to go and get some dude's autograph somewhere because you have their team set or something. I mean, there's going to be some utility involved with this, I bet, within the next, if it's not this year, within the next couple years. So I would try to do it regionally. Obviously, just do like your favorite team. Like I did the Kings because I'm always going to want to buy Kings when they come out. So it's going to be easier to bite the bullet, right? I did Hornets for a while and then I sold off on my Hornets because I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep chasing this Hornets thing just because they were the cheapest at one point. Like I don't have a need to get all these different Hornets players. But obviously, I want to get all the Kings, right? I want to get the Jason Williams when it comes out. I want to get the Chris Webber. I want to get stuff like that when they come out in the future. And then if you don't live close to anything, you don't have a favorite team, then yeah, go for the cheapest and just chase the cheapest. That's what I would do. Okay, so that's that stuff. The next one I have in here is the set bonus tab. So this one's beneficial. It's never, you can see how it doesn't have anything to do with stacking because you can't stack sets. But completing a set gets you a 2x bonus on collector score points. So it's important for sure. And it's helpful. You can see some of the big points you get from completing some of these things. But you can also see it's quite a bit. It's pretty expensive, right? And it costs quite a bit to do some of these things. But people like doing sets. So I included the sheet here. It says what series it is, what tier it is, what the total current price is, how many moments are in that set, how many of them are rewards, because rewards and moments get priced a little bit differently, how many points you get if you complete the whole set, and how much it costs per point. So you can see the WNBA Best of 2021, 56 moments for $580. That's a good deal. Right now, the 26 is cheaper than any other team set, cheaper than any full team set, cheaper than any series team set. But the only downside is you're capped at the 2240, right? You can't keep stacking WNBA. You can, you just don't get the 2x bonus. So, but for WNBA, shoot, you still get, 20 points each, I think. Forget off the top of my head. I think it's 20 points each. So maybe it's not horrible. Let's see. Yeah, 20. So you still get 20 at like $8 a pop. So maybe it's not the worst thing in the world, even if you don't get the bonus for stacking. Okay, that one's pretty straightforward. Anybody have questions on this? Let's see. I've been considering selling Minnesota and Charlotte doubles and buying my team's Golden State, but that means sacrificing team bonus gains. Yeah, it's totally up to you. Like I try to tell everybody, like, don't just have a collector score threshold in mind that you want to get to. I would always try to just like play the game a little bit and like, if you're over 5,000 or over the 7,000 or whatever, if you're in that range, kind of, I think you're probably going to be decent and you're going to be in the spot where you want to make a decision. If you're down to like 1,000, well, you probably want to start trying to climb up a little bit. But just because all the different drops are so variable and the way to get, I'm noticing that my screen's a little small here, so I forget that I have to zoom in every tab I go to. So I'll try to remember to do that. But anyways, I don't even know what the hell I was talking about. Just sacrificing gains. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these drops, you're able to get a pretty good drop bonus based on some of your participation in the market and stuff like that. So, and maybe it's not that big of a deal. We got his flash showcase tonight. This is popping, baby. Assists are going wild. So let's just walk through. We'll do this in live time because there is no time like the present to do this. But we will sort through who is looking at the best projection for assists tonight. This is breaking news for the people. All of you watching are going to get to see this first. So let's see. Look at assists. Blah, 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 blah. And then we can sort all this by assists. And it looks like we got Harden, Chris Paul, LaMelo, Jokic, Westbrook, Brunson, Van Vliet. That is the projection on who is going to finish in the top 6 tonight. So LaMelo could see some action in the LaMelo moments tonight. That is pretty wild. The one right now is already up to 43. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people buying LaMelo right now. Let's see who else. Harden only has the 40K, I believe. So that could be a good moment to try to get ahead of. You're going to need him tonight anyways to play in moment ranks. Chris Paul, 60K. Jokic, that's quite a bit. I know a lot of people out there stacking Jokic's. That can pay off. Westbrook has got a couple moments. I think Brunson just got a one. Fred, De'Aaron Fox. Again, that would be funny. Jordan Poole. Yeah, so nothing too crazy. Looks like LaMelo, Lonzo, if he pops up, he's got the biggest chance to run. Josh Giddey, that would be freaking wild, huh? LeBron would be wild. I don't think, then you start just looking at some of these. Tyrese Halliburton, that'd be cool for me. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wonky how these things work, though. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't buy too much before the game because, as you saw, like pretty much none of the players that were speculated on last week did well. So, or 2 nights ago did well. So I don't know. Whatever. Let's see. So that's assists. Let's see. To play. Oh, it's another. So Chef says it's another guaranteed Series 2 base set. Nice. Levi says, can we get access to this data without a credit card? Yeah, good call. I was going to go through that. You can pay with moments. I'll go through that at the end, but yeah, you can pay with moments. Tom says Top Shot just tweeted the flash challenge, and we already got the sheets updated. So look at that, people. Show me the data ahead of the game again. Okay, cool. Let's keep it trucking here because I think some people probably have to get to work on stacking moments that they're speculating on. We talked about set bonus. Okay, Series 3 circulating count. So this is a fun one that I do. I do this all the time. Every single pack drop, I have it in here. Basically, how many of each player were included. I use this off the Top Shot sheets that they put out. So this will be a historical database for this whole series. How many players from each drop are in it? It shows how many are currently in circulation, how many are remaining for every player, what's the total count for all these guys, and all this stuff. So that's pretty fun to look at. And then this is obviously what helps calculate the expected value for all these packs. The odds of getting all these different things at these prices is what gets to the expected value. So I think that one is pretty straightforward. So we'll keep her moving here. Showcase challenges. Okay, so I'll zoom out here a little bit. So the showcase challenges have been a little bit hit or miss. These prices are all old now because, damn, I freaking nailed the Rondo. That's sick. No, these prices are all a little bit old now because the challenge is over. But basically, what I'll do when these showcase challenges come up, because there's a lot of different options, is I'll bring in all the viable options over here. So like here are all the viable Heat one, here are all the potential Bucks ones, Lakers and Spurs. And then I'll run in like, okay, which ones had the most sales over the last few days? What was the average price that they were at before the challenge got announced? What's the expected delta? This information isn't correct because this contest or this challenge just got over, but that's how you work through it. And so what you'll want to do is basically you'll pick like the best value and that's what I do. That's how I put in on these sheets what I think is the best value moment. So I always try to look at like, okay, obviously you want the one that's going to be closest to the lowest cost, but then at the same time you want also you want one that has like a low amount of sales, because the more sales that happen, the more chance that player is just going to get dumped after the challenge. So if you can find like a cheap moment that hasn't moved, or a relative moment that hasn't moved a whole lot, well, then it's going to be good. It's going to be better that, and you want to pick that moment. So like the Drew Holiday versus the Chris Middleton, roughly the same price. A lot more people bought bought Chris Middleton's and Drew Holiday, and you can see I'm kind of reading this backwards now, but Middleton dropped from 163 to 144. Holiday only dropped from 153 to 140. So saved a couple bucks there just by getting the Holiday net cost basically. This is backwards now because of this, but whatever. So anyways, you'll just try to look at like cheapish moment that hasn't been bought a lot, that shouldn't fall off a lot after, and that helps predict the value. I'm not super vocal about the stuff. Like I don't go out and say, "Hey, everybody go buy the Rondo," because that's the best. Because it's all variable, right? As soon as a lot of people start buying Rondo, then he no longer becomes the best option because there's more chance for him to get dumped off after. So, in my opinion, on all these challenges, on all these showcase challenges that have like moments that kind of get squeezed up and stuff, it's better to just wait it out till the end, find the moment that hasn't been bought the most that is still kind of cheap, and buy that one right before the timer ends. But then for everybody, like it'll bring in the current lowest ask, it'll bring in what I expect it to be post challenge, and then it'll bring in what I expect the reward to be in order to get like a total expected value for that contest. And I should have locked this before I went live with it, because it would have made a lot more sense. But basically, this number is usually a little bit positive or a little bit negative, and all this stuff kind of changes as the week goes on based on projected number of completions. Not a big deal, but I guess 888, and it finished at 884. And let's see what the Shaq is at right now. That might be fun to check out. Whatever, I'm not going to waste everybody's time here. But anyways, this is just kind of like my projections for challenges. And if that's in the green, then that means it's a good challenge at this point in time. If that's in the red, then that means it's not a great challenge. And if it's in the white, it's just kind of a coin flip. And I try my best to keep all this stuff updating, keep the projections updating. These are all kind of manual. You'll see like I was projecting a 540 for Kawhi. He was quite a bit higher on that. I was projecting this for Rondo, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, good stuff there. But they kind of are worked off like projecting like a 15% decrease from where they started and stuff like that. So trying to use some historicals there. And then when there's multiple running, I'll just get multiple going. So this is a pretty good tool there. I think that one might be a little bit confusing. So I'll see if people have Wiseman TSD and Dinwiddie TSD are a go. Not sure exactly what that means. Okay, anybody got questions on challenges? Looks like not a whole lot. Already been going for over an hour here, so I don't know if we're going to make it to the archive here. Okay, this is what everybody's been waiting for. The Series 1 packs. We did it. We made it here to the end. Let's see if there's anything else that's worth talking about here. Okay, I'll hit on these real quick. This is just like some kind of like made up index thing I was doing. It's not that important. I just take in like, it just counts like the series, the market cap of LeBron versus everything, the market cap of some of the players versus everything, blah, 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 Series 1, Series 2. If the line's straight, that means their market cap is performing similar to the overall market. If the line goes up, then that means they're doing better. Whatever. It's not too crazy there. Not too important. And I honestly haven't been able to find a whole lot of takeaways from it, so I don't really keep it going too much. And then this is a new one I started. Just looking at, I use Steve every week who posts like new users. So I do that, and then how many new users were added each week. So this is like the user delta, how many new people were added, how many moments were added, how many moments per overall users, how many new moments per new user. Once again, not really something I know exactly what to do with it now, but as you'll see, as you get to know me and you follow some of the stuff I do, a lot of the stuff I just like to kind of watch and figure out how it all works over the next few months. Okay, we will update the series one real quick here. And then we'll start talking about the hot news of the night. And I think we're going to cut it after this. And I will go into some of the archive stuff, maybe a bit later, on a different stream. So let's start with the actual moments that are included. So this is from the official Top Shot collection. I'll try to do now that it's official and it's legit. I will try to do some more scraping and try to figure out if there's any more of these moments hanging out there. But this is like 9,700 of the 10,500. So looks like I must have missed a couple. But I'll find them all and they'll get them all in the spreadsheet. But this is all the important ones at least. So there is the pinkish color here. Let me zoom in here for everybody. So the pinkish color means that it's a Top Shot debut, a TSD badge. White means it's not. And then you can see the quantity of each that are going to be in all packs. So like right now, the LeBron James Top Shot debut is trading at 12,000 Dolores. And there's only 437 of those that are in circulation, right? 563 are held by Top Shot. But at the same time, like there's a total of 10,000 moments, 500 of these packs are coming out. It's not like the price of this LeBron is going to just drop overnight. A lot of people are going to sell off because of it. But like, I mean, I don't know. You see like some of these things, like maybe there's 2 LeBrons that comes out out of the 500 or something. Like it's just going to be such a small trickle that it's really not going to affect it. They've talked about really wanting to make sure that they don't affect the series one prices. That doesn't mean Top Shot is not going to overreact, because that's what we're all about here, overreacting to everything. But yeah, that's kind of the deal there. So the big prizes are LeBron. You got the Steph. You got the Ja. You got the Giannis, Harden. You got another LeBron. So total, you got 1,300 LeBrons. Series 1 LeBrons. That's never a bad thing to get in a pack. And then, yeah, I mean, like your worst case scenario is you're going to get like a Danilo Gallinari. That would be a pretty big bummer. You're going to get a Gary Harris, 105. You're going to get Langston Galloway. Ooh, that would be a tough one. There's a lot of those guys out there. So that's not great. So there's definitely some risk and reward for sure. And then what I've got down here is all the other ones. All the other the 1240 through 399 or whatever. And I had these all kind of sorted by price. So you can go for days. You can see there's a lot of the 30 ones down here. You can see there's a lot of 40, 50 ones, a couple big neighbor ones. So like, okay, best case scenario in the world, you get a LeBron Top Shot debut. Then you get a Steph Curry 3. You get a Luka bubble 3. And you get a Zion handles. And your pack's with $14,000 for 350 trade tickets. On the flip side, worst case scenario, you get Danilo Gallinari for 100 bones. Then you go down here and you get some of these scrubs. You get Daniel House Jr., you get Malcolm Brogdon, you get Svi Mikhailiuk, and your pack's with $188. Not great. So that is why it's important to understand the distribution, because you can calculate the expected value all you want. $1,700 to get a series 1K moment, $214. So total package expected value is $1,900. But there's some pretty big tails on this thing, right? Because 14, there's 563 that are in like the 13,000 range of the pack expected value, and then there's 89 that are in 200 or less. So what I did here is it took me freaking forever, but what I did is I figured out a distribution of like how many like what are the odds that you get these different numbers from your 3 moments that go along with your 1 moment of the 1Ks. So there's like a 27% chance you get 3 moments worth $90. It's pretty high, right? There's a 0.0000 whatever chance that you get 3 moments worth $1,200. So Distributed all that stuff amongst all these. Got a whole spread on this sheet, on the distribution sheet, of like the cost of every pack. Here's the potential range of every single pack. Whatever, blah blah blah. So it's not perfect. It's definitely not perfect, but it's the best thing out there right now, and it's really it's accurate directionally, like I say, right? It's and it's really, I think it's almost impossible to figure it out perfectly. So that's kind of the best way to do it right now. And so this is how you get to like where the distribution like curve is, right? So you can see like this hump right here where there's 1900 of these packs that are going to be worth around $4,000, and then there's 500 that are going to be worth $13,000. Between those two, I mean, shit, that's 2,300. That's 25% of the supply, roughly, right? So there are some really good odds that you hit like a killer pack, but then there's also some really good odds that you hit a horrible pack. 300, 400, 500. These are all under $300, right? So if you're not getting trade tickets for $1 each, it's a bad investment. The median price is about 1,000. I think that's shown here at the top. I'll clean this up a little bit. I know it's kind of messy. That is not correct. Okay, yeah, I'll go through and make sure everything's presented well on this first sheet. It's right now just kind of a little bit of a brain dump of everything of how I was calculating everything. But the most important stuff that you guys want to look at is which player, which moment, how much of them, and what their cost is worth. Same thing down here. And then get familiar with how this works. So this is just like the distribution curve of all these packs. And it's skewed high. There's a ton of stuff high, but there's also a ton of stuff low. And so if I remember correctly, the median was somewhere in this range. I'll start getting some actual numbers out. I'll clean the sheet up a little bit. Like I said, the news came out 5 minutes before this, but you'll have a live tracker on the median. You'll have a live tracker on the EV, whatever. And so expected value is skewed a lot by low data points and high data points, right? And so if you have a chance at getting 10 series 1 packs, you're probably going to be closer to realizing your expected value here of 1,900 per pack. You're probably going to get somewhere in the range of, I don't know, 17,000, 18,000 worth of value. And it's going to be closer to 19,000 or 1,900 times 10. If you only get 1 pack, you can see you have the odds to get this. You have the same odds to get this, whatever. And so like, it's just good to understand this. If you get multiple shots at it, the chance that you realize your expected value is better. If you only have 1 shot, well, then you want to see how the distribution works, and you want to see what some of your worst case scenarios are and stuff like that. So anyways, just a bunch of good reasons to never buy a trade ticket over $3, in my opinion. If there's $350 and you spend $2 each on them, then you're spending $700 on a series 1 pack. And $700 is right here. You can see, now you got, 1,000, 1,200, 1,700, 1,900, 24, 25, now 18, that's 43. You're almost at 5,000 packs that are over that 7,000. So you got a halfway shot at beating 700. You also got a halfway shot of going under 700. But I kind of like my odds on that versus paying $3 each, and then you're at $10.50, or $4 each, and then you're at $1,300. I mean, $10.50, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed a lot more than you're not, right? There's significantly less that are under, or there's significantly more that are worth under $10.50. There's significantly more that are worth under $13.50, stuff like that. So these are all important things to kind of consider when it talks about Series 1 packs. And I will make sure that this thing is tightened up really nicely, give everybody a good view of everything that you want in here. And yeah, it's going to be super fun to track this stuff over the next few weeks until the week after Thanksgiving when they distribute these things. So that is my advice to everyone. Do not spend over $2 on a trade ticket. I will never spend over $2 on a trade ticket unless I get them in a pack for $3. But I'm either buying packs or I'm buying them for $2. If they don't get to $2 for a while, I'll probably wait. Okay, let's see here. Let's go through some questions and then we'll get out of here. I have a whole nother sheet that's the archive sheet, which is historical stuff from series 1, historical stuff from series 2. All that stuff you get access to with a membership. We've already been on it for an hour and a half, so I'm not going to go through it. We'll do that another time. It's not as important, but it's fun to look at and figure out some of that historical stuff. Let's see. So Colleen says, John with steals and blocks hitting frequently. Which moments are a must? Giannis, Allen, Gobert. I mean, to be honest with you, steals and blocks, they don't hit often. Well, I don't know. I haven't done an analysis on like how often the boosts hit. The bummer thing is a lot of the last 10s for steals and blocks are under 1, right? So as soon as the player gets 1 block, then they've gotten their boost. As soon as the player gets 1 steal, they've gotten their boost. But at the same time, if they don't get any, then they're not going to get it. And that happens a lot too, right? Like Bam last night, all he had to get was 1 block to get his boost, but he didn't get one. So he didn't get the boost. And he, on top of that, he had a poor game. So you likely are giving up like a little bit of consistency to hit the boost. Like if you're playing a Giannis block every night versus a Giannis points, I would bet that the Giannis points are going to hit more. The boost is going to hit more on the Giannis points. But when the block hits for Giannis, it's going to be big and it's going to pay off way more. And that's what we care about. That's all we care about in these big tournaments is when we're right, that we're right big and we're able to get paid for it. So anyways, that's that. I don't have a huge list off the top of my head. I know a bunch of people in Discord have been playing this pretty religiously for the past few months. So they had some better lists the other night of some good stuff. Finney says he likes Giddy tonight. TS would automatically turn the prize into rare packs. Probably not. Giddy 4 is pumping. Real quick, ties will likely take place in tonight's Flash Challenge. JB, if you have time. How are they handling ties and how to get an edge? I don't know if there's a way to get an edge. The way they did it last night was the way they did it on Wednesday is if there was a tie, they gave it to the team. It was point differential first, right? So if a team won and they won by 10 points versus the team that won by 5 points, the team that won by 10, that player would win the tiebreaker. And then after that, it was plus minus, I think. And then after that, it was minutes. Nothing. There was actually no ties, I believe. But there could be tonight. So yeah, important to look at that stuff. I mean, if a guy is on the bubble and and his team won by a lot, then that's good. The other thing I would say is like, so I mean, I'll just talk about what happened with De'Aaron Fox the other night. He squeaked into the number 5 slot right after like I think he was like a 5 p.m. game. So all the 4 p.m. games are over. His 5 p.m. game started. He squeaked into the 5 spot, and there was still the 6 and 7 o'clock games going. So there was a good chunk of time where he was number 5, and a lot of people were buying him. I sold all the De'Aaron Foxes at that point, especially after like Zach LaVine and some of these guys got off to like huge first quarters. I was selling as people were buying, and just basically making a bet that like, okay, I'm probably losing out a little bit if he ends in the top 5 and his moment goes more, but there's still a risk right now that he doesn't finish top 5. So I'm going to sell into that buying pressure right now. And so I would just keep your eye on the market right now. I mean, it's a Friday night. You could either do this and sit by your computer all night and try to sell moments, or you could go out to dinner and hang out and just watch basketball. However you choose to do your Fridays it's up to you. But yeah, there we go. Paul says just for the base pack, he scored a 40K LaMelo. That's good. I haven't opened mine yet. Maybe I'll rip one on stream. What the hell else are we going to do? Dallas says, you think you should take 10% off the lowest ask for these, as lowest ask will take a hit with more supply out. Yeah, I'll just let the market decide that a little bit. I'll let everything kind of settle in for the next couple of days. In my opinion, it shouldn't take a hit because, like I said, only like 1 or 2 of all these moments is going to actually come out. So I don't really, or maybe like 5 max or something. six max, whatever. It's not going to have like that big of an impact on the prices. So I don't know if I'm really going to account for that. What's going to happen is a lot of people are going to undersell it now and like start selling off. They have a bunch of them, whatever, thinking that the price is going to change. And so I'll just let like that sell off before inform this chart. Really good question. Mattez says, I think we also need to consider the pack odds, JBB. Otherwise, we might be stuck with 350 tickets. Yeah, good call. Great call. That is good stuff to think about from Bonfire. I'm sure he's going to be tracking it. He'll figure out a way to do it on Live Token, and he'll put out how many people have however many trade tickets. And we'll start getting some answers to how we're tracking on this stuff. What I would say is like, okay, last weekend when I bought 100 Tristan Thompsons for $2 each, I still have 100 Tristan Thompsons for $2 each. I don't have 100 trade tickets. So I don't think it makes a lot of sense to immediately turn trade tickets in until you're going to use them right away. And so, like, I mean, there's a good example. They come out with 500. There's 1,000 people that show up. Now 1,000 people, or now 500 people are just stuck with 350 trade tickets. So that's a risk for sure and something worth talking about. Watching the Kings game tonight? Probably not. I'm going out to some Mexican food and margaritas with some friends. I'm not going to be very active tonight on the market when it comes to assists. Don't really have any huge stacks left anyways, besides my DRM from the other night. Basically paying 700 for a 10-20% chance to get an EV 2000 pack. I think it's going to be over 10 to 20%. I'd be surprised that there's that many people that have 350 trade tickets. We can make a quick here. I'll share my screen here, and we can do a quick search here, and then I gotta set my moment ranks play lineups, people. Let's see. Shit. Moment ranks. This is how I look at how many are in each collection. So let's see. It always takes a while to get to friggin' Top Shot. Now they're doing everything. Well, this is great for TV. Things aren't loading well on this computer tonight. And I'm not even sharing it. Jeez, I'm such a bad host. Okay. NBA Top Shot. Well, I was going to look at how many in each account. Last I checked, there was only like 4,000 accounts on Top Shot altogether that had over 500 moments in their account. Had over 300 moments in their account. So, and I can guarantee like all those people aren't selling all their moments into trade tickets. So I don't know. I don't think there's going to be as many people as you think, but we'll see. We can track it right now. I forget how to do this. Accounts. And then you can do moments greater than or equal to 350. You can see 4,600 people. Only 4,600 people even have 350 moments in their account. So, I mean, it doesn't count some people that have traded in trade tickets, but also at the same time, like, obviously not all those 350 people are going to be able to trade in everything, or all those 4,600 people are going to be able to trade in everything. You don't lose the tickets, though. Yeah, it's true. It just sits in your account as a ticket. It doesn't sit in your account as something you could use for a flash challenge, Paul. If my Tristan Thompsons were all trade tickets and they do rebounds next week, and Tristan Thompson grabs 15 boards, oh, you better believe I'm selling those friggin' 100 things that would have been trade tickets. Giddy would be a Pat C situation. Pat Connaughton, yeah. Giddy would be a huge bottleneck for sure. And if he's spiking up, it might be worth selling him. It might be worth selling before the games start if he has spiked up quite a bit. Nico's just giving out his moment lineup. I don't know about that one, pal. Let's see what else. So the 24 thing. Okay, I must have missed that one. There was only 589 people with a combination of trade tickets and moments valued at 3 or less. There you go. So, Michael, I think that was Bonfire's last update. There was only 589 people that even had this that fit into this category. Sure, that number starts going up, obviously. Finney wants people to go with him in a North Jersey and watch some hoops. Okay, I think that wraps it up, people. Thanks for staying on with me, all you crazy people here for the last hour and a half, looking at spreadsheets with me. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this thing up, get links to it onto the Google Sheets to help everybody understand how these sheets work a little bit. I know we talked some current events as well. All good stuff. Thanks everybody for joining me in the chat. Have yourselves a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Have some fun watching hoops. It's tough to argue that Top Shot is not again right now. I'm having a ton of fun between moment ranks, between these flash challenges. Really cool. So love it, guys. Take care. I will talk to you guys later or in the Discord. Peace.